Hello, guys, and welcome to Unfiltered Football. And today's topic, first of all, our host today is Mukhtar Jelani, who was with us before. And welcome again, Mukhtar. And also, we got a
Thank
new
you.
host, Ikram Ihsas. Did I pronounce that properly? So, today's topic, we're going to speak about these legendary managers we hear, and I'm not talking about these other big managers like Arsene Wenger, Alex Ferguson, Ancelotti. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the current one, the modern ones, the like of Guardiola, the like of Zidane, Tuchel, Klopp, and all these big managers. Mourinho, are they as good as what people say? Also, if they're not, can we separate them into two? Let's hear the views from our fans. Mukhtar, you want to go first?
Yes, I'll go first. I have a point to make, and my point is that I feel like with Guardiola, he done a fantastic job in his career. Throughout all of his career, you go to Barca, you go to Bayern, you go to Man City. Barca and Bayern, I feel like he didn't put in the team. The team was already there, was given to him. The team was cooked. With Bayern, the same thing. With Man City, it was more or less like I wouldn't say world class players in every single position, but um, he had to spend £1 billion and he's still yet to win the Champions League, which I think he found it very, very difficult to win the Champions League. So in terms of my opinion, I feel like um, I don't know. I feel like he's kind of lost his touch since he's left Bayern. He okay, cool, fair enough. He's won a Prem with Man City and so on, but it's that is expected for him to win the Prem, like with currently the best team in the Premier League, and I would say you would put Man City in the top six best team in Europe as well, or top seven.
Yeah. What about you, Ikram?
Um, yeah.
Asking me, I think although they're all like legendary managers, like you said, we can separate them into groups. And I think the groups that I'd probably separate them into is managers that have like innovated football and the managers that haven't. Like for example, you mentioned Zidane. When you mentioned Zidane to me in that group, although results wise and trophies wise, he's within that group. He's an amazing manager. But in terms of his coaching, his management, his tactics, he will never go down as a Pep or like a Mourinho, whereby this guy innovated the game or created some sort of style of play where people like, wow, this guy is next level. In my opinion, Zidane was he got results. He was amazing with results, and he was an
But that's
amazing.
what that. But at the end of the day, that's what matters, right? It's all about results.
That's what matters. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, that's what matters. But then again, you could also look at it in the way that Zidane had a super team, and if you put him with a team that was not as good, can he implement that same sort of can he draw those results? Whereas with Pep, even then with Pep, he's only had super teams, but or Mourinho or these guys, can they implement their style of play onto teams and make those teams take them to the next level? I think they can. Can Zidane do that? We don't know. We don't know.
No.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
I agree. See, with me, I can agree with you guys in a lot of places and a lot of things, and I also disagree. First of all, we're talking about Zidane, Guardiola, Tuchel, and Klopp, Mourinho, right? I will put Klopp and Tuchel separate. In fact, to me, I would say they are better than these guys. And you might thinking, okay, let's put aside stats, trophies, and all that, right? Zidane first management, right? It was the B team of Real Madrid. Remember that, and he done really bad. He done really bad. And in Spain, the B team they always play like in the second division, if I'm not mistaken, like let's say the
Yeah,
Champions
yeah.
League of the Premier League. So he done really bad. They were nearly going to relegate it. And the same thing for Guardiola. They were not doing good. Okay. Now suddenly Barcelona, one of the richest teams at that time, and as Mukta said, he didn't make that team. That team was Frank Rijkaard's team, right? And for the first season, the only guy he brought in, he didn't bring in, it was Frank Rijkaard is the one who put in Messi. Remember that. Guardiola didn't bring in Messi. Okay, so Guardiola getting the Barcelona team, which is already done, already cooked. They just okay, he tweaked it out a bit, get them to play that kind of style of tiki taka, whatever, that quick and all that. Same thing as Zidane. Look, Zidane, he knew terms of man management. He's good because the same team, other managers didn't do well with Mourinho. Was it Ancelotti? I think they took in there, even though they won the La Liga thing, but they never made it to the Champions League. But the Zidane, he knew how to get in with the players because he was similar and more like same timeline with them, maybe a few years. So he knew how to deal with them. And Guardiola is all about money. He went to Bayern Munich with a team who just won the Champions League. Bayern Munich came in, I think, previous year before he went there. They were in the final of the Champions League, and they just won the Champions League. And he came there, he couldn't win it. Imagine that. He won all the trophies, and in Bundesliga, it's only
Bayern.
It's more like Scotland. It's either Celtic or Rangers before. Now it's going to be Rangers. That's what it is. All the other clubs, the 19 other clubs, including Dortmund, they are feeder club to Bayern.
Yeah.
And then you have Mourinho. Now, Guardiola, he had all the best players in Germany, right? In Barcelona, he was getting the best players in Real Madrid. I mean, in Spain. And he came here, he had to spend millions. What he said? Billions. Is that right?
Yes. He spent 1 billion.
Billions.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, I saw one video. He said, I thought or I was the best manager in the world, but I'm not. He said, give me any other team, I will struggle. And I always used to say the same thing about Mourinho. Mourinho, okay, he was lucky he got the Champions League with Porto. But it could have been Monaco or Porto, Deschamps, I think nobody rates that guy, but, it could have been him. But Porto was the best team in Portugal at that time, the richest team in Portugal. He came to Chelsea, his first team, it wasn't his team. It was Claudio Ranieri's team. He paid a lot of money as well after that to win trophies after trophies. The question is, did he win the Champions League with them? No, he didn't. Right?
No.
And he went to Italy, to the best team in Italy, the richest team in Italy at that time. He won the Champions League. So can he do it with a smaller team? No. He tried it with Newcastle, right? What happened? He knew it wasn't going to last. He got himself sacked, right?
Sorry.
And then you have, what's his name? Yeah, Guardiola as well. I don't think they can manage another team. So when I say Tuchel, right? Tuchel, whatever his name is, and Klopp, they didn't manage the guy managed at PSG, and he got sacked from PSG, I think, for non-football reason. If you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Non-football reason. And they would have won it. And in Dortmund, he done really good. In other team, he managed done really good. Klopp, he really literally moved. He was backed. He moved Liverpool from where they are and took them to one of the best teams. Right? Liverpool were getting better under, what's his name? Brendan Rodgers. But after that, they couldn't. Right? So are they the best managers, Guardiola? How do you guys rate a good manager? Is it in terms of stats and trophies?
Klopp is like insane with what he did, man. Like, not only did, like, going back to your point about the German league, he became a competitor in the German league.
Exactly.
Sure
Definitely.
He even took Dortmund to the Champions League final. It was against Bayern, right? It was in Wembley.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. But I think Bayern won that game. But this guy, he did do it. And then he came to Liverpool. What did he do? He doesn't even spend that much. This guy's recruitment is unreal. Like, he got these players that that are not on the radar and turns them into superstars, bro. Superstars.
Go on. You see, thing is with Klopp, I remember the first 2 seasons that he was at Liverpool, a lot of his players used to gas out at the 60th minute. gonna ask me why. It's because this guy, he has a high press, and he's been doing this since Dortmund. So you can tell that he took his strategy from day one and he implemented it in Liverpool, which he knows that 100%. The second you pressurize every single player, starting from the goalkeeper all the way to the striker, yeah, no opposition is going to get to you because they're going to be scared. The second the opposition have the ball, they're going to have so much peer pressure because all you see is you only have 2 seconds on the ball. Yeah, the opposition feel like that. They panic on the ball when Liverpool are pressuring them. You can see like versus Dortmund. I remember, when Arsenal beat Dortmund in 2013, Klopp was the manager. Arsenal became the first team to beat Dortmund. And I remember Dortmund, they had a fortress in the stadium. Basically, it's like, for example, it was very hard to beat them. Very, very hard to beat
Sorry
them.
to cut you off. I remember he was asked because he really loved how Arsenal used to play. Remember at that time, Arsenal, the way he used to play, and he said Arsene Wenger, his style is like it's art, like Mozart. Mozart. The way musical, beautiful, the way he does it, is very fast, But he said, my one is, what's the word? Not rock and roll, it's heavy metal. Yeah, that's the word he used, is heavy metal. So it was a whole of attacking game. I remember that game pretty well.
Yeah. So like, obviously, like, you can tell, I feel like out of all of the managers that you have mentioned, I feel like Klopp has the eye. Klopp has the eye, because I agree with Ekram and I agree with you. I feel like Klopp, he gets players and he makes them lethal. Look at Sadio Mane. They got Sadio Mane from Southampton. They got Mo Salah. Mo Salah, he failed at Chelsea. He did okay at, was it called Basel?
He was in Basel. He was good. He was playing at Basel. He was good. And I think he went to, it's an Italian team first. He went.
Fiorentina,
yeah. At first he went to Fiorentina, yeah.
And then they went to Rome.
Chelsea, and then he went to Roma.
Yes, Roma. Yeah. And then, like, right now, he's the best striker in the world. You look at the front two, Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. They're the most lethal strikers in the world. One of the most lethal strikers in the world. You look at the back. Yeah. Every single one, starting from the goalkeeper all the way to the strikers, they know how to kick ball. They know how to play football. Yeah. And that's the thing. Not only do they press, yeah, is they know how to play football. Tiki-taka, high press, high press. And then you see everyone defends as a team and attacks as a team. But you have Mourinho. Wow, the second he knows that this team is hard to beat, you'll score one goal and park the bus for the whole match.
He made United the best team, Come on, man. He made United hard to beat. But with Mourinho, if he is backed properly, he will make the team hard to beat. That's the thing. And one thing I've realized with Mourinho is whenever he doesn't want to be at the place, he will start problem with players.
With the big players.
Literally, wherever he goes. He came to Chelsea first time he left, problem with players. Second time he left, problem with players. The same team who he left, Conte took over they finished 8th. The same team, Conte ended up winning the championship, the Premier League. The same team.
Yeah.
But you mentioned earlier, right? What makes a good manager? It comes back to Mourinho. Like, he's a good tactic. He's got tactics when he's back. But one of the key factors, bro, key factors is man management. Yeah. And Mourinho lacks in that department so much, bro. Like, look what he did when he came to United. Like, he freezes players out. Look what he did to Dele Alli. Look what he did to Pogba. He does it time and time again.
And one thing I've realized, with managers, you're definitely right. What he done to Luke Shaw, the guy destroyed him. I remember once he said it was my brain, but Luke Shaw's body, something like that. He said, that was like, how are you gonna? It's like, what are you gonna say that the guy is one of the best left back in the country? He's an English left back. Are you gonna say, oh, you're just using my brain? If that's the case, is every player is playing the way you're telling them to play? Players maybe want to attack, but the manager is telling them to defend. You know,
Yeah.
and you see, with me is as Mukta said, is about the manager like Klopp, who can work with limited resources. He can get the best out of his team, and he can get them to do that for as long as he can. Right? We've seen that with Klopp. And you know, I mean, I'm not being biased. I'm an Arsenal supporter, as you might know. But when Arsene Wenger came, a lot of people don't rate him and everything. I remember when he took over, you know, people like his own players, even Ian Wright is like, who? Arsene who? You know, his own players, like he was, you know, he was joining. They didn't know. And people, the only people that, you know, they were comparing him with Alex Ferguson. I thought it was a bit unfair because Alex Ferguson was managing at a team where he spent years. He was backed the richest team in the world. You know, he wanted a player, they're getting him, you know, that. While this guy, he was more like he got into the ring with, you know, with his hand tied at the back or with one hand, limited budget, right? And the fact that he got, if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember the Champions League 2006, he got there not beating small teams, beating AC Milan, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Juve. AC Milan, I mean Real Madrid, you know who they had in their team? The likes of Roberto Carlos, Zidane, the likes of
Ronaldo,
Figo, Ronaldo, these legends, right? And Henry terrorized them. Henry terrorized Roberto Carlos, right? You see, but he worked with a smaller budget, right? So you know, okay, you know, I don't want to talk more about him, but the fact that with a small budget, he done really good. Another manager I really rate, Brendan Rodgers. He doesn't get benefit, you know, as much benefit because he worked he done in Liverpool where he got Suarez to play the best, the best football of his life. He got Sterling to play football, Sturridge. You know, nobody gave them time, but he wasn't backed how Klopp was backed.
Yeah.
You know, 70 million to buy a goalkeeper, 80 million to buy a defender, you know, Van Dijk. Right? Somebody, the other day said, I think it was Rio Ferdinand, about Van Dijk. He said, Van Dijk is not all of that because he's not playing against the likes of Drogba, Tevez, Henry, Van Persie. You know, there are no best Premier League strikers at the moment. And I'm thinking, it's true. We do have best Premier League strikers, but they're all playing in Liverpool.
Yeah.
So he's not playing with them. You understand? So that's how it is. So as I said, you know, the managers is not about the money he has, not about just the tactic. It's how with limited money, it's like if you go to a small team with limited budget, you're doing wonders. I think that's how we can rate the manager. Do you agree, guys? Agree with that?
Yeah.
I agree, definitely.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna end up here. And thank you guys for watching. And please subscribe, share, forward it. We're on all social media platform. Unfiltered Football on Instagram. Unfiltered Football 1. And thank you again. And see you soon.